Hi everyone, review of Iwata's Neo airbrush today. I've recommended this loads of times. I know a lot of people have gone out and bought it on the back of what I've said. It's a fantastic airbrush for the money. You're looking between £45 and £50. It's an ideal starter airbrush, or if you're after a secondary airbrush for spraying different paints or mediums, it's an ideal addition. Or like I recommend as a first airbrush, unbeatable. It's got Iwata's usual quality. It's covered under Iwata's normal 5-year guarantee. All spare parts are carried by all the major airbrush parts companies, airbrush.co.uk, aircraft.net, etc. So if something breaks, you can get all the spare parts. Box, very nice box, nice and colourful, which is nice to see. A little bit of information on the back, just basically uses, covering all different genres, cake decorating, bakery crafts, cosmetics, miniature hobbies, modelling of course, so a wide variety of use. Inside you get the airbrush itself with a 9mm colour cup. There's a 1.8mm colour cup as well as a spanner for undoing the needle nozzle inside. In the back are a set of instructions. Have a quick look at these. So just basic how to get started with it, how to connect your airbrush hose. There's two different types of Iwata Neo. There's a siphon fed one and the gravity feed. I've got the gravity feed. I'm not a fan of siphon fed airbrushes, mainly because the cleanup takes a lot longer. You end up with dozens of bottles of paint like this, and I don't get on with them at all. So all my airbrushes are gravity fed. Onto the back, just about starting. So it's a double action airbrush, push down for air, pull back for paint. Which single action airbrushes, they work, but this gives you a lot more control being double action, so it's a lot more useful, handy to use. You can use air for drying paint, you can get minute camo lines and what have you, so ideal for pre-shading, things like that. It just makes it a lot easier to use in a single action airbrush because you can turn the paint off and keep the air going. As usual, Iwata's 5-year guarantee, so any problems at all, if it's manufacturer based I assume, they'll cover it under their warranty. Pop that back in there. Like I say, you get a smaller 1.8mm colour cup. I never use these, too small for me. If you've watched my videos, I've got a terrible habit of spilling paint over the edge of the colour cup, so I tend to leave those off. You also get, let's put that back in there, the little spanner, which is used for removing the needle nozzle from inside the actual airbrush cap itself. And I just lean over because I forgot to put a part in the actual brush itself. We've got a lid. It comes with its own lid, which is ideal. I wish my harder Steenbecks get these, but sadly they don't. So over the larger colour cup, you can pop a lid on. It's got a air hole in the middle, so it doesn't get suction blocked, I suppose the word is. I use it a lot. It's off this because I use it on my other airbrushes as well. But obviously it's a part of the kit, so it's back in there. It's a very high quality airbrush. I'll just run through quickly. You've got your normal, if I remember right, it's a 1/4 inch, is it? I think it is, 1/4 inch hose connection, might be 1/8, I can't remember now. On all my airbrushes, I'll attach a quick release like this. So what that allows then, I've got 4 different airbrushes I can just quickly interchange with a quick connect. It's a different airbrush as well, having to unscrew the hose every time. Construction, very nicely made, very weighty, not overly heavy though, nicely balanced, sits in the hand nicely. Trigger action's nice, not as good as my harder Steenbeck Evolutions or the other Iwata. I've got the Revolution, but still very usable. This is an airbrush that costs well over half of the Evolutions and half of the Revolution, so you get a lot of airbrush for your money. Push down for air, nice and smooth, positive. Pull back for paint, again nice, smooth, positive. If you unscrew the back, there's the needle chuck, and also you can turn this to increase or decrease the tension on the paint flow pullback. So a nice little touch. It's nicely chromed. I assume it's chromed, doubt it'd be nickel. With Neo for Iwata, if I can get the camera, there we go. Laser etched on the side. Comes with 0.35 needles, so it's not the smallest of needles. I will admit I haven't used this for detail work. This gets used purely 90% of the time for spraying clear, and by clear I mean Johnson's floor polish clear. The only other thing I use this for is anything that's particularly not nasty but unusual, so be it a wash, another type of medium, anything I don't want going through my other, I call them good airbrushes, I shouldn't really, but the ones I use for painting. This will take anything through because it's such a large needle nozzle. I don't need to worry about, you know, washes with pigmenting getting caught in there and trapped. You know, I use different airbrushes, different paints. I've explained my reasons before, just because I don't like contaminating, because some paints react with others. Again, I use this for the clears and washes and anything I don't want going through the good airbrushes, because I don't be spraying a model and all of a sudden there's, you know, a few pigments of, you know, rust wash in there from the bloody using it in the past, sprays out of my model. So I know everything that's been through this. I did upgrade the cap on the front of the crown cap, which is supposedly stops it clogging as much. I took that off because the way I clean airbrushes, I like to backflow them. By backflowing I mean once I've cleared out the majority of the old paint, I'll put a load of thinner in there, finger over the needle tip, pull back, let the air through, and that backflows the air through the needle nozzle and push any paint out that's in there. With the crown cap there's no way of sealing that, so it was really hard, getting hard to clean. So I took that off and got rid of it. Positives, it's cheap, it sprays very well. I've had this for 6 months now without any fault or problem yet. Can't fault it in any way, shape or form. Apart from the needle nozzle, it's very delicate, and I know I've seen another few people comment on it. This is my old one. A little bit too much pressure with the little spanner, which I showed you, that one, and it snaps it out the actual tip of the front of the airbrush. Now, not much of a problem getting a new one, but sadly this part gets left in the tip. I was lucky enough to get mine out. I know people who can't get it out and have to send it off to be repaired. I think a lot of people have done under warranty, which is nice of where they bought it from, but you know, you may be the unlucky one. So it literally just needs the smallest amount of pressure to put it on, no more, because you'll just snap it off. I wasn't even particularly heavy-handed. I know I'm a big bloke, but I am quite delicate with my fingers. So it just snapped off on me one day, so I had to get a new one. So that's the only thing to be aware of. Absolutely, I just really can't fault it for the money. I've recommended it loads to you guys. No real cons to it bar that. Obviously, you know, it's not the same quality as a more expensive airbrush, but for £45–50 ideal. If you're using a cheaper airbrush at the minute, it's a fantastic step up. A lot more quality. With quality you get more consistency, so you get used to it. Spraying better, you know, you're going to get more consistent results, which is very important in airbrushing, because it takes slightest inconsistency to mess up what you're doing basically. So like I say, for £45–50 really can't fault it. I know Lee's bought one as well. Maybe you can have his thoughts on after this airbrush review and see what he thinks of it as well. I know he's used it and I think he did like it, if I remember right. But like I say, if you're looking for a new airbrush, a step up, or just a secondary airbrush, certainly give it a look, because I can't recommend these enough. Absolutely superb.